Okay, and here we go. So, welcome everyone in our stream. Oh, and for some reason I don't see you here. It was working like before. Why? Why it is doing to me?
Oh, I don't know, maybe I have to
now
open
it is there, yes, good. As I said, there is always some technical issues, but now it's okay. Everybody see you, so it's good. So again, everyone, welcome to our stream. I would like to introduce you Orysia here. She accepted the invitation to our stream. As I said, there is always some technical for some reason I hear myself. Yes, from here. Okay, good. And now I don't see you again. Now I do. What the?
I don't know what is.
Yeah, but everything is not working, of course. So, hello. Thank you for accepting the invitation. And so, if you can introduce yourself to viewers, now is your time.
Yes. Ahoy. Hello, everyone. Yes, I know this Czech word. My name is Orysia, and I am from Ukraine, from Ukrainian city Lutsk. Now I am in Lutsk in Ukraine, and I am a PhD student of political science here in Ukraine. I don't know what I can say about myself. The first, my degree is a lawyer. The second, it's a journalism and social communication. I studied in Poland at the Adama Mickiewicza University in Poznań. Also, I had an internship in Brussels. Also, the last year I spent in Czech Republic in Prague because as I am a PhD student, I got a Visegrad fund for my PhD thesis, and I spent 1 year at the Charles University in Prague. So I learned Czech language, but I can't to speak in a normal way, unfortunately. So sorry that you have to hear me in English language.
Yeah, I think it will be fine. Yeah, but as I told you before, the Czech language is hard to learn. It requires many years. So I think nobody will be angry about this. So. Yeah, but thank you again for this, and I would start with the first question to you, and it's kind of about your whereabouts. To start, please tell me when this situation, this war, was coming. Was there any point you realized, or people around you realized, there will be a war? I mean, if it was something that you saw coming for, week, months, years, and if you were surprised when it happened on the 24th of February.
So in general, we have a war with Russia during the 8 years. We had an occupation, Crimea is occupied, it's our territory, also Donetsk and Luhansk are occupied by Russian Federation per 8 years. But before this war, it depends on the people, because some say that we will have a war, some USA media say that we will have a war, some Ukrainian media say that we don't have a war. We will not have a war, but if we are talking about myself, for example, 1 month before the war, I had a kind of a training lessons that was organized by some organizations and some guys from Azov battalion. It was like a training about using a weapon. It was a training about the political situation and what we have to wait, what we have to, what will be the first, for example, civilian or infrastructure objects that will be fighted by Russian Federation. And for example, it was also training about the first medical aid. And so for me, maybe it was surprise that it was in a real life, because you can imagine it, you can think about it, but when you know, in the morning you can hear this bombing in a real life, so it's another feelings. You can read about it, you can talk about it, you can imagine some things, but you can't imagine, for example, these things in Bucha or in Irpin. You couldn't imagine it.
Yeah,
so yes.
I was asking before, I know a lot of people, and it was including myself, that when we first hear that the Russia started this offensive, that I was just bound to my PC. I was like sleepless. I was watching that all day, all night. What's happening, and it was terrible, and that's why I asked this to you, because I couldn't even realize how it is for the people living there. So you were saying that you were actually preparing beforehand. So I think that there was that how to say, the collective knowledge that this might happen, and it might happen soon, correct? Yeah.
Kind of, not all of us, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yes.
And what was you doing at the day? Like, it was just the regular day and then it happened, or it was there was something in the air so everybody knew already, or how did you feel that?
So this war started on February 24, and it was, for example, it began maybe around 4 or 5 o'clock in Kiev and in other cities. But in my city, in that day, for example, it was the first day of the war, around 6 or 7 o'clock, 7 a.m., they bombed in my city, in Lutsk, they bombed our military airfield, maybe around 6 times. So it was like a missile attacks, and what we heard it. We watched on TV that the war started. I live with my family, so we just, after that, what we did? We just sit down, maybe in the kitchen, just drink a coffee. We was thinking what to do. Maybe we were thinking about that we have to go to the village, because we have because I am living in city, but we have a village maybe 30 or 40 minutes from the Lutsk, and we were thinking maybe that that it's better for us to be in the village. It's not so dangerous because it's not a city. But we ate our breakfast, to drink a coffee, and decided to stay here. And I said that I have to be a volunteer from the first day, and I have to help. I can't to be in the village and just to sit and to stay and to wait for what, I don't know, and just started to be a volunteer.
Yeah, it's interesting to hear. And how was the mood in or mood of the people around you? Like, I can imagine that there was some collective mood, or some rage, sadness, and shock, and how it evolved in time. If it's like a constant situation where everybody is desperate and angry, or if it's changing in time, and if you saw something like that this mood changed in the society, and how the people are looking on this.
You know, it's individually, it depends on the person, because someone, for example, went to Poland, to Polish border, just to go abroad with children. Some men, some women went to another country or to other countries. Someone, for example, started to change money. Or just, you know, this kind of things. Somebody went to shop to buy some food, or some oil, or something like that. So many friends abroad started to ask, to write to us, and to cry, to ask what is going on, because they are there. Because I studied before in Poland, and so I have some Ukrainian friends there. In Poznan, in Poland, they started to write me and just to ask and to cry that oh my God, our parents in Kyiv, in Vinnytsia, what we will have. So yes, collective mood was a little bit shocked, and I don't know how to say, because maybe it's difficult to remember now this morning, because this changed a little bit. Of course, we had a panic, panic and this collective house, a kind of, but we started just to struggle from the first day of the war.
Yeah, and
because in psychology, okay, it was the first day, and our some psychologists organized like a meeting, something like that, and we are talking about this our feelings, our first feeling, because in psychology you have different stages of your feeling after this bombing. For example, somebody can just stay, can't to do anything, and somebody wanted, to go around, to go abroad, something like that, and somebody just started to help. Somebody went to army, for example, the first day, some men. It depends on the person and psychological condition.
Yeah, I see. Thank you. And I saw, and I think that the whole world was shocked how well the Ukraine reacts, because everybody, or most of people, expected that it will be fast, it will just last for a few days, and the Russia will storm the Ukraine and it will be over. And then they saw, and everybody saw, the huge spirit of Ukraine, and that they stood their ground, and they defended their country, and they continue with it till today. And from the experience, as we were watching this from abroad, we saw that we were also surprised that the collective spirit is holding so tight and good. And so you were saying that you, from the first day, you were helping people, so you were around helping others, and so it is something you're doing till now, I guess.
It was different, it was different times, because from the second day, me and my friends, volunteers, because it's the same volunteer that we were volunteers in 2014. So it's more or less the same people in our city. For example, it's 20% of people, active society. So we just met with my friends, and we organized, this doing these Molotov cocktails. As you know, what does it mean? Yes. So per 2 days, for example, we did more than 1,000 these Molotov cocktails, because it can protect civilian people. Maybe you watched these videos on YouTube.
Yeah, I did, so, and we also know it. In Czech Republic, it's a ex-Soviet Soviet Republic, so yeah, we know what these things are. So yes, we were watching it, and it was amazing actually how people help the military and the defense of the cities like this. So yeah, it's great to hear that you participated in.
Yeah. But it was, the maybe 2 first days we did it, but after we organized with my friends and with other volunteers, we organized a communication center in cooperation with our local authority, local government, and just divided this center in different departments, different spheres. For example, one department it's about refugees and displaced displaced people. The other, for example, some international issues. The other one is, for example, humanitarian help, because every day we had different problems. For example, one day you see that so many refugees and displaced people are here. Yes, you have to help them. On the other day, you can see that so many humanitarian help going from other countries. So you have to think which in which city you have to go. Yes, with this help, something like that. So it was this time. But I left this communication center 1 month ago, and now I help to our Volyn civilian administration. It's kind of body states from a president. Yes, so I changed a little bit my volunteer work.
And what does it mean? So what's your common day now? So what you are doing in general? Like what does it take?
In general, I am writing my PhD thesis, so I have to work to continue to work. Yep. It's my main work. Yes, it's my main job. But it's kind of difficult to concentrate and to write some articles, because in history, articles and books writing after the war. Yeah, because now you have this kind of feeling, so it's better. And it depends. Sometimes I'm giving interview to international channels, media channels. For example, we are talking with Japanese media. Some guys from Azov also are doing these interviews for Japanese media. Also, I'm founding sometimes some volunteers for Indian media. Also, we are talking with Ukrainian media. I don't know. It depends. Now it's changed because this first month it was one thing. Now it's another things. Now it's for myself. I see that I have to help. On the international level, because our future depends on the weapons that other country will give us, and something it changed. Yeah, so I can't to say about my normal day, because every day is different and we don't have normal days.
And, I see. And before you were talking about the refugees and that some people are leaving the country, and there is a little thing that kind of interests me. How's your point of view about the men that are going abroad? Like, if there is so huge patriotism in Ukraine, and lots of people are going to the military, helping, and etc. So, is there any bad view on the men that are leaving the country right now?
In society, we have different opinions about this. But in my opinion, for example, I don't think that everyone should be a soldier.
Yes,
I'm not a soldier.
Agree.
Yes, and it's for me. I don't have this gender approach that if you are a man, you have to be a soldier, etc., etc. If you are abroad, you can help also from humanitarian point of view. You can organize this or use this humanitarian help. You can transfer this help to us. But if you are just I don't know, just relax abroad and to travel abroad, so in my opinion of you, it's not okay for me.
Yeah, I see, and I agree with you, because why I was asking, because there is a lot of people, for example, here in Czech Republic, that are how to describe it? Let's say it's negative. Yeah, it's negative attitude towards the refugee, and as it was always, there is always someone who will yell and who will be loud about the thing that, oh, there are also a men going with the women, and it's not only women and children, and they are using it as the propaganda thing. So that's why I was asking, because I was interested in how the like Ukrainians are looking on such peoples. And I agree with you, like nobody have to be a soldier, and somebody just can't do that, like physically and mentally. So I think also that it's totally okay that someone will just leave the country because they just want to be safe or with their families. So yes, and I was interested how how's your point about this. So yeah, thank you. And one thing from this, one more thing from this. Oh, thing, and here we are. Yeah, it's when I click somewhere else. Okay, I will have to stay focused on the window. So how's that everyday life in Ukraine now? Like, it's hard to get to get gas for the cars, or it's just hard to get some entertainment or food, or just the basic stuff. Like a lot of us and most people around the world, they just wake up every day, they have their routine and everything is okay. And now there is the war-torn country where there is that mix of combat zones, and there are cities that are somewhat safe but still under the threat of the shelling, for example. And the materials, food, and etc. is located in the torn territories. So how is this regular everyday life in Ukraine right now?
It depends on the city, because, for example, in some city we can have a humanitarian catastrophe, but in some city we have entertainment and everything are open. For example, in Lutsk, restaurants, shops, gas stations are open because economy should work. The position of our authority, of our politicians, that someone should struggle for the country like an army, like in soldiers, but some physical person, just people should work, and the economy should work. So in my city, for example, in Lutsk, shops are open, restaurants are open, and we have everything. But it depends on the city, because, for example, Mariupol is surrounded by Russian soldiers, and people, civilian people, ordinary people don't have food and water, for example. So it depends on the city, on the part of Ukraine.
Okay. And one thing from this personal sphere that interests me, like I can see in both Western and even Ukrainian medias some claims that Ukraine will win in the future, that they will win the war, and I mean that Russia will not achieve their goals, etc. And how is your point of view about this? Like, do you also believe or mean or think also that Ukraine will win this war, and what does it mean for you?
Of course, I'm sure that we will win, and I don't have any days that I am not sure that we will win.
Okay, and
we will
what
win,
will be that victory?
What it's for me, victory, it's not like only peace. Because someone can talk about this peace, that we will have a peace, and peace will be after victory, that we will not have this Russian army on our territory, that the whole world will use sanctions against Russia, and Russia will feel what does it mean, to kill us.
Yeah, I see. Yeah, I was interested for this. Yep. Yeah, I was interested in this because I mean a lot of journalists and lot of articles are there about this, and nobody seems to see the exact thing that will be that victory. I mean, it's like driving the whole army of Russia out of the Ukraine territory, or it's just some peace talks. with some that I don't know, the Crimea will stay in Russia's hands or something like that. So so that's why I was asking, what is the view? What's that thing that will make it the victory? You know. So for you, so you said that it will be that your territory will be yours again, whole as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course sanctions, and of course
Yes.
consequences for the whole Russian nation, not only for Putin.
Yeah, thank you. And what are your hopes for the future? Like in the upcoming days, months, weeks, what's the thing that you makes you believe? I mean, what keeps you up? What keeps you running? Some positive things. So, what are the hopes now?
You know, the main maybe my dream that I had 8 years ago, and now I hope that we will be a part of European Union at NATO, because for us it's very, you know, it's the high price that we can pay for our participation and to be a part of to be a member of European Union, and I hope that we will be a part of this, and we will, you know, we will have a new Ukraine and we will have a new European Union.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad that you mentioned the NATO. How realistically you that? Because I know that Russia actually made the steps that prevented Ukraine from even attempting to joining the NATO. Because there is one condition that you have to be your territory should not be conquested or contested in any way. So basically by taking the Crimea, they basically made this one point basically preventing you from entering the NATO in any way. So it's interesting to see this perspective when I would like for Ukraine to be the part of the NATO and the European Union. But how did you think this option is real before the war? You know, when there was this situation that you had the contested Crimea and basically Donetsk, Luhansk, and that was preventing Ukraine from entering to this coalition. So how would you say it was realistic? Because it was used as the casus belli. From Russia, they said, "Yeah, you want to go to NATO, so it's threatening us." Blah blah blah. So, how was this viewed in Ukraine? This possibility?
I guess that it was realistic before the war, and it's realistic also now, because now we showed it from the practical point of view. We show our army in the real life, and. Of course, in our society, we have different opinions about NATO, but the most people support our membership in this alliance, in this organization. And I guess that it's realistic, and everyone should know that it should be realistic.
Yeah, cool.
I don't know what things about these other countries, because we also know that so many Russian money there are in European countries, and so many politicians are supported by Russia in some organizations, international organization. I don't know what they think, but we think that it's realistic and we should be a part of NATO.
Yeah, good, thank you. And as you talked about that, you show the practicality that you are capable and able to be the part of the NATO and its defensive structure. What do you, because there was that part of the humanitarian aid, and also there is a military aid. So to Ukraine at this moment there is a huge flow of Western weapons or even ex-Soviet weapons from other countries. And how do you how do you look on this help from the West, like the reaction of the West? Like if you expected that West will be you know, like lazy like it was in 2014 with the Crimea situation, or what was this realization that the whole West basically united and supported your country, or if it was something that was expected, or if it was a surprise. How was your look on?
First of all, I thank the the whole democratic world for the help for Ukraine, and I guess that maybe the world's approach to our war was changed a little bit before Bucha and after Bucha, and for me, for example, I am happy that U.S. voted for the Act of Lend-Lease in the Senate, but we are waiting for voting this in House of Representatives. As if you know what does it mean, this Lend-Lease Act, we are waiting for this. So I support it, and I thank so much USA. And I don't know, it's 50-50. Of course, we thank for the whole this helping, and but I guess that we have we need more weapon.
Yeah,
but I guess that maybe I'm not a military expert, and I'm not a soldier, and maybe I don't have a right to talk about it.
Yes, yeah, I was just asking. Yeah, because there is like two kinds of this help from abroad. Like there is the humanitarian aid, which includes like medications and like that, and also there is this military help that's keeping basically the Ukraine running. So yeah, thank you for this point. And you were talking about those guys before, and now you talked about Bucha a bit. So we will get to that. But first, there is this Azov battalion, and I'm just interested in the point of view of somebody from Ukraine, because I think you know, same as me, what's going around about them, like how they are viewed in the Russian propaganda, how they are used in the Russian propaganda. And also there is this complicated history, let's name it that. So what's the view of Ukraine about basically this battalion? Like they are viewed as a heroes, or they are viewed as something controversial? What's the point or view about this?
In Ukraine, they are heroes because, for example, now they are in Mariupol, that is surrounded by Russian Federation, this city. So for us, they are heroes. And yes, I know about this Russian propaganda. But this battalion Azov was established in 2014, and so many real heroes we know from this battalion. And so the main propaganda about them is that this symbol Azov, yes, it's like they are Nazis or something like that, but it means just two words. It's nation, and idea. It's idea of nation. So if we are talking about them, if to speak Ukrainian language, if to be, if want to live on your land, on your motherland, it means to be Nazis.
Yeah,
so
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I understand that completely.
It's our right to exist, and they protect us, and they protect our right to exist as a nation, to have our own territory, and to have our own rules of life. It's just a propaganda, and I'm sorry. I don't know. I'm sad that I don't know if we have some Ukrainians that can say something not so good about Azov. I don't know them, but if they exist, I am very sad, and I am very sad that people in the world don't have critical thinking, and to just to have a right to talk about it.
Yeah, but it's the same in the West, because there is the huge influence of Russian medias and Russian propaganda in the Western information space. So there is also in the Czech Republic there is a lot of disinformations about this battalion and a lot of things, and yeah, but there's this controversial point when the propaganda is basically using the history and presenting the history like it is now. Because from what I saw and learned there in 2014, it was the wild times. Basically, the country needed everybody to defend it, and so they were like allowing everybody to join these half battalions, like units, paramilitary units, and so also there were some really how to say that, ultras maybe, like these people. So basically that's why these rumors like persisted to today. So I can understand how that propaganda works, like what are they using, and yes, it's the problem of critical thinking, that people can't or aren't able to actually verify all the information. So thank you for this point on this topic, because I know it is controversial, and it will be, and it's interesting to see how actually you in Ukraine are seeing these people. But because yes, we can saw it also, we can see it, like they are defending its country, and I was always saying that, like, no matter what is going on there, no matter who is there, they are protecting their people. So
Yeah.
that's like the general view about all the soldiers in Ukraine. Not just them, but all of them. So
Yeah.
and then you mentioned Bucha. I know it's a sensitive topic, but okay, I think I will just let you decide how to start this topic, because I actually don't know how to ask about it, because it was a tragedy when we first saw it, even here in the West. It was something nobody could imagine, like nobody, and every day it was just worse and worse as the new information came out. So please, if you can tell me your summarization of these incidents.
If you are talking about our feeling, yes, we couldn't imagine that it can be possible in the 21st century, and it's not a war; it's a genocide of Ukrainians. Just war. What does it mean, a war? It's a fighting between armies, between soldiers. It's not about the civilian people. It's not about the children. And I don't know. I think that it's our common pain. We have, Ukrainians have so many common pain after our sad history, and it's a new page in this book, of Ukrainian independence, and it's our common pain. I don't know, after these photos, our task was, to share these photos for the whole world, because everyone should see it. What does it mean, this Russia? What does it mean, this, not only Putin, every Russian person, they have to see it, and they are responsible for it. Because when they, I don't know, I didn't see this like strikes or protests, for example, of Russian people abroad not in Russia, not in just in European countries, against Putin propaganda, against Bucha, this kind of things. I only saw these strikes in Germany, pro-Russian people, supporting Russia in this case. So for me, every person from there responsible for this, and I don't know. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say about Bucha, and you know, it's really our common pain, and we couldn't imagine what we will see after Mariupol.
Yes, I'm afraid of that also, because as it's like isolated, it will be hard to get any there for a long time. Russian side will have plenty of time to cover things if they will. So yeah, I'm afraid of that too. So I can understand this. And thank you for what you said. Yes, as you mentioned, the strikes and the protests in the European countries, we also have them here in Czech Republic. But it's much less people that are actually willing to go out and protest openly. A lot of people does that on the social medias, on Facebook, etc. And yeah, I can see it as a result of this long-lasting Russian propaganda. Like there, for example, in Czech Republic, it's 10 or more years of this, targeted propaganda, the Russian websites, which are spreading the disinformations, stuff like that. So these people, I see them as victims. And it's sad, and yes, it will take some time to repair this image, because it's made on that, as you mentioned, the critical thinking. You'll have to, and yes, it's sad. Reality.
Yes, it's really a very important issue now. It is information warfare. And you know, 3 years ago when I studied in Poland, my diploma, my master thesis was about an information warfare. So I know what does it mean, and you know, the propaganda of Soviet Union, Russian propaganda, etc., etc. It's a weapon of the 21st century. Weapon,
cheap,
a real weapon,
effective.
And information is the weapon. Yes, and you know, yes, I thank you that you have this kind of a channel, and you develop a critical thinking of Czech people, Ukrainian people, you know, the people of European Union, and I think that this kind of channels should be in every country, because I don't know how to struggle with that.
Yes, I agree for obvious reasons. Yeah, but yes, it's important, and as you mentioned it, this information warfare is rage. Cheap is cost effective, just cheaper than the weapons. You can do it everywhere. There is a limited legislation about it, how what is possible and what is not. So yes, this will be the future, and yes, I also support like everyone participating in fight, and also I'm trying to hire other people to start doing this and train the critical thinking, or even it. So yes, and there is just hope. We can have hope that it will improve. So thank you for this topic about Bucha, and there is one another thing, and you was talking about Mariupol, and like, what do you or how to ask this? What's your opinion on? I mean, okay, I will have to say it more like longer version. Like, there are some messages and some information that are coming from like the line of contact when there are fights and the battles, and a lot of people and organizations are like claiming that the Russian side is not allowing any foreign teams, for like Red Cross and journalists, independent journalists. They are not allowing them to their lines, on their side. So if it's something about it, because it really interests me if it's true, and what are the information in Ukraine, because you know these kind of informations, they come always from like second hand, and they are blurry. So if you have some, or if you know something about this, like what's happening there, because you know, I'm trying to believe the Red Cross, like if we don't believe the Red Cross, then what we can believe, right? So if you have something from this this time.
Yes, I read the information, from the Commander 1 Battalion in Mariupol yesterday. Maybe on Facebook, did you read something? Because it was also in English. As I read that there are no any real green corridors for civilians, and these guys from Azov and our army just protect these civilians with there are women, there are children without food, without water. It's a catastrophe, a real catastrophe, and the city is surrounded by Russian army, because we have the sea there. And about the Red Cross, it's it's a difficult issue. I don't want to comment this situation because,
Okay.
as you know, we had a scandal kind of, but I don't have that. I don't think that I have to comment it, and
Okay.
I have a right.
I respect it. Okay.
We will comment it after the war, after our victory, yes. Maybe.
I see. Yeah, and I totally respect it. It was just I think it was an interesting question, because all these situations, they are like everything that is somewhat blurry or unclear is used by that propaganda against Ukraine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So and that's why I think these informations are incredibly important to exist. So when I see that somebody is not allowing and some reporters, journalists, to inform about the conflicts, so then there is this problem that we don't see it and it can be used against it. So that's why I was asking. So thank you for this. And there is this last thing. And how do you think that for you said you are now in the West, like the western part of Ukraine. So how do you feel safe there? I mean, because Russians showed that they can basically hit every part of Ukraine, and they are showing it. I can understand that they need to show this power, I guess. But how people are feeling safe? Or if you understand.
Yes, I understand, but I don't understand myself. How I can feel safe, but yes, we are safe. I don't know how to explain it, to people in European Union. In my city, for example, we had bombing 3 times. 2 times it was our military airport, and after the second time, 4 people were killed here. And the last thing, it was maybe 3 weeks ago, they bombed our oil station. And for example, yesterday they bombed Lviv. Lviv is 2 hours from Lutsk.
Yeah,
it's near to here. But how we feel safe, I don't know. It's, maybe we will talk about after our victory, and we will have some psychological effects, some feelings after that. But now I am really shocked how we feel safe. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe with strong people, strong nation. And we have we understand now that we have to work, we have to live, we have to do something for our victory, and everyone is doing it.
Yeah,
I don't know how to explain.
Because I was interested in this general view that because I think nobody here outside Ukraine can imagine how it is that you're waking up and there is always that something in the air, like it can hit us anytime. It can be every time. So it can be hard to imagine for people. So that's why I was asking, and thank you for the answer. It's fantastic. And what are you to this? What are you doing, or how are you handling this? Like, I mean, what if there is something that's helping you like overcome this, or keeping you running, keeping you up? So if you have something that you and only you are doing for this.
I guess it maybe it's our, I don't know, it's our national idea. You have to wake and you have to fight. You have to struggle because maybe it's a love, love to your motherland, and I have to wake up every day and to do something. Of course, we have we have different conditions. After Bucha, for example, we were shocked, and maybe 1 week we were like, no, we didn't want to work and to do something to eat, to drink, but now it's more or less psychologically, yes. I think that it's love, it's real love. Love, because we love our country, we love our nation, and we want to live under our motherland, and we will live on our motherland, and we have to wake up every day and to smile.
Wonderful. It's like beautiful motivation. Yeah, it was touching for me. Sorry. Yeah. Thank you very much. And because we are reaching to 1 hour already, so there is just one last thing I wanted to ask, and I wasn't writing it on that topic list because I just wanted this to be like surprise question, let's call it. How do you like view the Vladimir Putin person? Like, what is that image that you have or people around you have when you see or hear that person?
It's not a person. It's not a person, it's killer. It's not a people. It's not a human being for us. He is not a human being.
It's this like straight hatred, let's say.
Yeah.
It's the man who's responsible for all of this. The man that
not
it's
only
not a
him.
man. Yeah.
And it's what does it mean in Russia? He is Russia, and Russia means this only killing. It's a nation of killers.
Okay, and in connection with this, what's this general opinion about Russian people? Now, not the soldiers, not the I don't know, like Putin and his roundabouts, people around him, but the general Russian. If there is something, like Russians living in Ukraine now, or and even the Russians which are living abroad in Russia, exactly. So if there is something like, if you can different between in these views, like if you can like you're condemning the Vladimir Putin and the people around him, but you can actually, or you are understanding the people of Russia itself, or if the hatred is the same.
I don't want to talk about it now. Maybe we'll talk about after our victory. But for example, on internet, we have this kind of the people say that they say that we are no, we thought that we thought that, or they thought that we are brothers, but we thought that they are not people.
Okay.
I don't know if I translate it correctly.
Yeah, I think I understand that. Yeah, because why I'm asking.
We have different opinions about Russians in our society, because it's democracy, okay. But my opinion, I don't have any friends, I don't have any colleagues from Russia, and I don't have any emotions, a good emotions, to love them or just to think that they are people.
Yeah, because there is I will just explain it pretty quick, because there is this like collective guilt syndrome that like Russians living abroad, they are being, you know, persecuted for being Russian, even if they are someone who was leaving Russia because how it works and how it is. So there was this collective guilt, and so I was just interested on your view, like if there is this collective guilt like syndrome also, or if you can differentiate.
We will talk about after our victory.
Okay, I will accept this answer. Okay, so I think that's everything for today. Or if you have now, I because I want to give you some your space here. So if there is anything you want to say to people, to me or whoever, you can do it now.
Thank you for this interview. I hope that it was interesting for Czech people. I hope that you will translate it to them, and thank you that you provide this kind of media and to develop a critical thinking. And I would like to thank the whole world for the support, because it's a huge support of us, and from humanitarian point of view and military, I hope so. And maybe I don't know what I would like to ask. I would like ask about weapon. It's only this kind of surprise.
I see. Okay, so thank you very much. I really appreciate your time, and I hope you will be safe. I hope you will hear from you again, and I wish you everything good.
Yes, I also hope that I will be safe, and děkuju moc, nashledanou.
Oh, no. It was perfect, actually. So thank you again for this. I will now, I think we will end the call. I will just have some talk with the chat, and I will prepare the video, and when it will be ready, I will also send it to you so you can see it. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed this, and see you in the next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Thank you very much. Bye bye.